Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PowerTalk Ask the Expert. I am so glad to be here. This whole month, it's been about celebrating women, celebrating their successes. And today, I have an amazing person with me. Her name is Linda Schwarder Snyder. We're going to be talking about inspiring successful women designing their dream life. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about Linda. She is an international speaker and author and coach whose genius is helping successful women discover why their life matters. And that's an important topic. And to do what they love and are uniquely wired to do. Now, Linda is the host of the powerful Accelerated Business Results event, founder of the inspiring Live Your Legacy program, and creator of Get It Out of Your Comfort Zone Visionary Course, a step-by-step done with you program that leads clients and students to design their dream life. And the most important thing about Linda is that when she's not speaking or serving her clients, you will find her traveling the world, especially when everything opens up again, or spending time with her 3 children and grandchildren. And I think we are in alignment, Linda, because that is me. I love my family and they come first in my life. So Linda, welcome and thank you for being here.
Well, thank you. It's delightful to meet you and get to know you.
Yes, we had fun and we met and it was very engaging. And that's what we're going to be doing here today with our audience, people who are here. What we want to do, Linda, is basically they're telling you hi here. So one of the things, Linda, I mean, you talk about inspiring successful women and designing their dream life. Why do you think that's important that women do that in their lifetime?
Well, either we do something to help our life go in the direction we want, or life happens to us. I mean, think about a day that you wake up and you have a plan of what you're going to do that day. And at the end of the day, you look and say, I didn't get any of this done because life just happened along the way. And, the phone call came, somebody forgot something, you had to go do this, it just, so we can go through our whole life and be busy, but busy doesn't equal that we look back and say, what did I do today? Or what did I do this week? Or gosh, has it already been a month? And so if we design what we want and where we want to go and who we want to be, then we're going to have a lot more, what I find is that women reach a certain age, and that can be when their kids start leaving to go to high school. It can be when they're leaving to go to college. It can be when they're out of college and they're all married. And all of a sudden, what everything was important to us was our kids. And then now we're back at work, or we never stopped working. And we say, is this all there is? I've got 20, 30 more years. I want my life to matter. I want to feel fulfilled. I want to feel joy. I want to do what I love doing. And I always say it doesn't have to be that you always love your work. I have somebody, my sister, she's an artist, and she works and then she does what she loves in the evenings and on weekends, which is paint. She's an artist. And so we can find joy, whether it's in work or out of work, but find joy that makes our life matter.
Mm-hmm. I think that's really important because, I often say, Linda, and that's why I'm saying we're in alignment, because I tell people you have to design your life. Like, you need to know what you want. Like, that's really important that you know what you want, where you want to be. Otherwise, I think that we manifest by default. And then things happen in our lifetime that we're not satisfied and we don't find joy in it, right? So in order for us to find that happy zone, I think it's, what do I want? Like, that's a big question, don't you think?
It's even more than what do I want? It's what do I love?
There.
What do I love? Because you can want something and then you get it, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you love it. But where do you like to spend your time? Where do you who do you love to be around? What brings you joy? And it's different for everybody. Everybody's different in what brings them the happy place in their life, that they feel, you know what. And some people it's just being like I said, my sister painting. Another person might be going for a walk in the woods in the park or something like that. Another person, it might be just the dogs that they have, and they take their dogs every night and they go play. So it can be a lot of different things for people. It can be their work and the meaning of their work, just knowing that their life matters. And my Live Your Legacy program came out of the fact that, people always talk. I just heard this today on a Zoom I was on, that they talk about leaving a legacy. We have to die to leave a legacy. I want to live and live a legacy. So that's when I'm giving my kids an example of how you live, not how, not that after I die, well, okay, she left a legacy, but I'm gone.
And I even think, one of the things, because I'm into the also known as the ultimate legacy builder. And the thing about leaving a legacy and living the legacy that you talk about, Linda, I think it's important that we also think of the generational legacy. Like, what legacy do we want to leave that's going to outlive us, that our children's children can also tap into that energy? And I think that, the legacy is not just leaving money behind, right? But it's leaving strong sets of beliefs,
values
that will support our generations to come, because they're our future leaders. So, I mean, how do we do that? Like, how do we begin to live the legacy, but also leave a legacy that outlives us?
Well, again, that would be different for everybody, but I think it starts with, when I teach the Live Your Legacy program, the very first session that we have is all about finding what your values are. Because we have our values, and that's how we make choices in our life. And so based on our values is how we live. And if you know what those values are and what's important, I'll give you an example. So I had somebody in the class, and they get this whole 3-page worksheet. They work it out, they figured out what their top 5 are. And hers was fun. I had another person that her top one was win, to win. Well, a person that their top value is winning is going to have a different, they're going to make decisions different than somebody that their top choice is fun. All right. And so what we need to do is help our kids, or whoever we want to leave a legacy, a generational legacy. And you usually think of our family when you think of that, because, but wherever you are, you let them know what your values are and why this is important to you. And also, because if you have a son, he's 20 years old, he's going to have different values than you, but he can still have some of this of respect of why you are like you are. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that he doesn't have to have the same values as you, but he has to know why those values matter to you. And I also think when you talk about generational, I think that stories are powerful, and that we need to pass on stories of why somebody did this, or how they did it, or where they came from, or those stories passed on, I think, are important. That's one way that you can go from generation to generation, is passing on stories.
And that's so beautiful, because I tell people, and I'm glad that you're bringing up stories. I always tell people it's better for us to leave the story and tell it, and let the world know exactly what we want them to tell, rather than somebody tell our story in their own perspective. And it might be distorted, right, based on what we see and how we really want to be remembered. Because I know that you're saying live a legacy now, but it's about, how do you want to be known? And then how do you want people to remember you? So it has to be in alignment, right? Like, this is who I am, and this is who I was. And leaving that mark, I think it's important that we leave that mark on this world through storytelling, because I mean, that's one of the ways that other people will pass on your legacy, right? Through storytelling. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. What would you like to share about that?
People always remember stories too. I mean, you think about if you hear a speech and somebody tells a story, you leave and that what you remember is a story. You go to church, there's a sermon, and you hear a story and you walk out and what'd you get out of church today? Oh, that story that was, and they talk the stories. Stories are so powerful.
Mhm.
And remembering those and learning those and hearing those just are really, and I think in today's world where everyone's so in their technology and stuff, sometimes they're not getting the chance to sit around and just hear stories.
Mhm.
That's an important thing.
And that's what we used to do. I don't know. I know that when I was growing up, we would sit around in the family and they would tell stories. But I'm wondering how we can bring women, Linda, and we can share our stories, right? And so that they can, I think that we can inspire, we can bring hope into people's lives, especially when they see that you've gone over that bridge or you're able to turn on that light for someone who is feeling in the dark, who's feeling down in despair. So I think those stories are powerful and they need to be told because it's not just about success, right?
Oh, no.
It's how did you go through that journey? Yeah.
Well, and I want to tell the story about how you and I met.
Go ahead. I love it.
So we have a mutual friend named Pat, and Pat, before COVID, would have girls' nights out. She'd have dinner in Dallas and invite our friends to Dallas, and then she'd have girls' night out in Fort Worth, and she'd have, well, then COVID happens, and we're not going out to restaurants, and we're not sitting around, but Pat is the ultimate connector. And so it was about 2 months ago, wasn't it? I think it was about
Yes.
It was a Saturday, and she called it Girls Lunch In. And she had it at her house. And I remember that day because she sent a group text. There was 10 of us invited. So there were 10 people on the list. And I remember saying to my girlfriend, I said, I'm going to a lunch today that I only know the host because there's 10 numbers here that I don't know. So I get a chance today to meet 10 people I've never met before. So I looked at it as an opportunity to meet new people. Yes. Well, you and I actually sat at the opposite ends of the table and we never really even talked that day. However, as I'm leaving and somebody asked me about me and I mentioned Live Your Legacy and they said, oh, Angelica over there, you two need to connect because she talks about legacy, the ultimate legacy. Well, you were gone and I reached out to you afterwards, but it's that connection, that you talk about ultimate legacy. I talk about Live Your Legacy. Pat invited us. We both said yes. And then we reached out. So, I mean, we have opportunities in our life all the time of things that serendipitous or coincidental or whatever they are, that we can either say, you know what, I don't think I'm going to drive all the way to Pat's. It's a 45-minute drive and Saturday afternoon and I'm kind of tired. I could have said no, but I didn't. I said yes, because I embrace things like that. And then somebody said, you need to get in touch with her. Okay, I'm going to embrace that. So that's what part of life is too, is that we want to go out there and experience as much as we can.
Yes. And then our sweet, beautiful Amber. Hello. Amber is here in the house listening to us. And she said, that's one of the biggest things that my family and I talk about, legacy and the legacy carriers. I love that. The legacy carriers.
Legacy carriers. I like that.
Yes. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Amber. High five, sister. Woo. It's like, who is going to carry that legacy? And I know that we sat around in Pat's house and guys, all of you that are watching, this is the PowerTalk Ask the Expert. So ask Linda any questions you like, or me. We're here to answer. Or Amber is in the house too, listening. So ask and let's have conversations and engagement, because we were sitting in the room after we ate. And Pat came out. Hey, Pat, if you're listening to us.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, she came out with these cards and we had so much fun because we told our story within that card that we pull out. And we were able to get to know each other more. And that's how I knew. I was like, I need to connect with her. I didn't tell you, but I knew I had to connect with you. And I'm glad you did it before me. But I think that who is going to carry that legacy, like Amber just mentioned right now, is really important. And it's another conversation that we need to have, especially Linda, ever since I think I mentioned to you that I had cancer and I almost died, right? And now I plan my life and even my funeral. Like I want them to play a certain music. I want them to do certain things. And I'm leaving that behind so that even towards the end, I'm still, leaving with a pizzazz, like with a big bang. And and I'm leaving that love and letting people know, because I'm gonna leave like some either slides or they can convert into whatever they want, depending on my age when I leave. But I want to leave memories. I want them to remember me happy and a go-getter, right? That's how I want to be known and remember, that I go after what I want. And so how do you want to be known? I always say that I'm the queen of connection because I love to connect with people. So Linda, how do you want to be remembered? Like, what is your mark?
Well, that is a very interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
No one's ever quite asked me that, but I'm going to add this to my repertoire of asking questions. So how do you want to leave your mark? I think that if I were going to say, I want to know that people, I believe that people don't want to know how much you care. They care how much, they don't want to know. They don't care how, I said it wrong. Let me start over. They don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. And I want people to know that I cared about them in small ways and big. I also, I want to be remembered that I was an avid learner. I was always learning. And, I can tell you a story of my dad. My dad had Parkinson's for 25 years. And the day before he died, he couldn't move really any bone in his body. He was, that's what Parkinson's does to you, but he still had his mind, and he wanted us to read the newspaper, and he wanted to know who won the World Series.
Wow.
And that is how I see myself, is that up until the very last moment of my life, I'm going to be learning something new and sharing it with people, because I'm a teacher, and that's what I do, is I love to teach, and you can't teach what you don't know. And so, and Amber says, I hail from a very rich legacy, and it is important to share that to not only our children, but our grandchildren, but with the world. That's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Look at that. Amber, I love your words, and thank you for sharing, Amber. I love it. I love it. And she adds more. She says, people don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. Amen. And that's true. I mean, at the end, it's like, it's like leaving a legacy where you're touching hearts. How can we touch all these hearts and really bring light into the hearts, bring light into the mind, bring light into the soul, so that our people, the people that are connecting, they feel that vibration, they feel that inspiration, and they want to do more, right? That, because we do get stuck, Linda. We get stuck many times. But when we surround ourselves by amazing people who inspire us, I mean, I have my mentors, but I think sometimes we have to have that peer-to-peer connection. And then we have to have the people we mentor. And then, like Barbara, she said, we have to get our mentor. She's another person I interviewed not too long ago. So it's, how do we connect in different ways to support and be supported? And so that we can also, like you said, live your legacy. So I think that's beautiful. Now, how can people connect with you? And well, just tell us first, how can people connect with you?
Well, right now I'm just revamping. Actually, Live Your Legacy is a new program that I've created. And so I'm totally revamping my website, and I don't have access for people to do that. So the best way is to find me on Facebook, Linda Schwarder Snyder, and on LinkedIn, and you can put my phone number in. They could text me, 469-693-4519. I'm going to have my website done in the near future. I have a new Live Your Legacy program that's starting on March the 31st. It's a 5-week program. And just the students that have sat through that, or, it's a Zoom, it's one time a week for 5 weeks. I've been filling those programs with 80% referrals. That's how much they love the program, and then they refer their friends. Love the program, and it's for women. I have pretty much, that's what I exclusively work with in this program is women. Mm-hmm. Not that men can't leave their legacy and live their legacy, but that's who I work with. But anyway, I so admire you, and just from the time that we've gotten to know each other, you are an inspiration. And you mentioned about, I think that it's women love community. I think the hardest thing about this last year has been the lack of community that have. And so women love community. So it's really important that you choose communities that are going to help you design the life that you want. People that are going to encourage you, support you, uplift you, and that you're not in communities that are belittling you or taking away from you. And if you are, then you need to step away and try to find people that are going to support you in your dreams and what you want to accomplish.
Absolutely. I think that's really important. Here's another message for us. Let's see. Jody Olson, it's a great program. Love all the great stuff that you cover. Beautiful, Jody. Thank you so much, Jody. And I just want to ask all of you that are watching, I want you to type, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to mark this world? In 3 words, think of something and write it here. Tell us, how do you want to mark your world? We are talking about inspiring women. I'm going to put oops, sorry, I moved everything around here. We're talking about inspiring successful women, designing their dream life, right? But at the same time, we're talking about legacy. So how do you want to mark this world before you leave? How do you want to mark it? I think it's really important, ladies and gentlemen, because I know gentlemen out there are watching, and I connect with both men and women. Absolutely. But I do have a lot of organizations with women, and then I invite a few men to come and join us. So it's that balance of female and male energy, right? But it's important, ladies, that if you're watching, we would like to ask for a big favor. We really need your help, because women help women. We want you to we want you to share this video, this audio, or wherever you're listening, because I know I have it in multiple places. Share it. And then we want you to comment and ask any questions if you might have some. But most important, we want you to tell us, how do you want to mark this world before you leave? So I know I gave you a lot of tasks, and it's good to take action. So at least do one or all, and then we would applaud you. Yay! So I don't know, but it's a great connection, Linda. I'm so glad we connected. And it's not going to be the last time, because you are in my area. So we have to get together, and we have to do something amazing together, because I think we are in alignment on the right path, and we can do amazing work, something, I don't know, especially here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I do want to invite everybody. I know that my friend Bill Walsh and mentor will be here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and Farmers Branch. So those of you that want to connect with us, I have 4 tickets that I'm giving free. So come and connect, and I will give you one of those tickets. And I want to invite all you beautiful women out there, beautiful award ceremony this Saturday from 10 a.m. Central to 1 p.m. Central. We are going to have our first year event. It's called the World Women Vision Awards, and it's from the World Women Conference and Awards. The founder is Regne Seneca. So I invite you to come. Ladies, this is the moment that we all have to connect, and we have to support and boost each other up and help each other rise. Don't you think, Linda?
Absolutely. World Women Vision Award.
Yes.
Yes. And how would they find that?
I am going to put the link here Let me see. Let me find it right now while you're talking. So tell us, give us a quote that you want people to walk away with or
Well,
something.
first of all, I want to mention that after we met, you invited me to a conference call that Saturday, the following Saturday after we met. And the founder of this was on that call. I remember that she was in Austria. She lives in Austria. And there was somebody there from Nigeria. You had people from all over the world on that Zoom. Women, amazing women from all over the world. I mean, there were people in the United States, but there were a lot of different countries that were on there too. So this World Woman Vision Award is pretty amazing. And it was an exciting group of women.
It is. It's an exciting moment. And you know what? It's because I feel, I don't know what you think, but I feel that COVID closed our doors, but it opened up another portal. And I keep saying that over and over all the time I do my interviews, because I want people to know that there is a bigger opportunity where the portals were open so that we can make bigger connections. Yeah, we can't visit each other now, but we can connect through the Zoom. And I've been connecting with amazing people all over the world.
Me too. Me too.
Right?
People that you wouldn't have, like that Saturday, I wouldn't have connected with these women all over. So you asked for a quote, and I'm going to do it real simple. It's dream big, but start small. Because you have to start. And then there's a second one that it's from Mike Dooley, and he says, the magic is in the baby steps. Because if you don't start with the baby steps, it's never going to lead to the big steps.
Exactly.
You have to start. So dream big and start small. And
I love it. I love it, because I think women, if you're out there, and I'm talking to women, if you're a man, this goes for you too. So don't feel left out. Okay. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you don't start, because sometimes we don't know where to start, Linda, and people get confused and they're overwhelmed. But I think if they take that baby step that you're talking about, it's better to take one step at a time and feel successful after every step than being over here and not taking any step and feeling overwhelmed and even regretting it, like, don't you ever think or imagine, like, if I get to be 80 years old, and I'm going to look back to now, and I'm going to get a checklist and see how many of my dreams did I really meet, right? How many did I not meet and scratch it out because I was scared, because I had doubt, because I didn't have money, because maybe a spouse didn't let you, because you had kids, right? And the list goes on. There's a lot of reasons why we're not going to do our big goals, our big dreams. But I think that Linda and I today, really want to encourage all of you out there, when you're watching, listening to this, for you to think of one dream that you have and to go for it, even if you make those baby steps that Linda just talked about. Like, you have to do it so that when you are 80 or above and you look back, you have very little regrets. Don't you think, Linda?
Well, they say that people that I read a book written by a hospice worker, and she said very few people have regrets about the things they did. Most of the regrets they have are the things that they didn't do, but they wanted to, or they wished to. But just what you said, something stopped them. The fear of something stopped them. So, it isn't that I did it and I regret it. It's usually I didn't do it and I regret it. So,
yeah. And I like what you're saying. Because I don't know about you, the audience that's listening out there, but I know, Linda, that I have failed at some of my decision making. And however, I can tell you that I would do them again. I would make some of those decisions again, because I experienced so many other greatness. Like, it was a path that if I wouldn't have taken, I wouldn't be here right now. Right.
Right.
So
you're going to fail.
Mhm.
You're taking steps forward. You're sometimes gonna fail. You're sometimes gonna make mistakes, but at least you're moving forward and you learn from them, and then you move on.
And you move on. Exactly. So we want to encourage you to connect with Linda, and she talks about inspiring women to designing their dream life. And I think it's a beautiful topic, and I think that you need to connect with her and then connect with me because we're having the World Women Vision Awards this Saturday, and you have to be there. You can't miss it. Of course, I know you might have plans, but it's a great way to connect with women from all over the world. And when I'm saying all over the world, you got to believe that it's all over the world. And the energy and the excitement and the enthusiasm that's going to be there, it's like you don't want to regret this moment. So connect with us, connect with Linda. And Linda, like, I want to talk forever, you know that, but you're going to have to come back.
Well, we can't talk forever. People won't watch it forever.
But I do want to thank everybody for listening. If you're coming back and this is the replay, put hashtag replay. And again, just follow us. And I am here tomorrow at the same time. And I am going to interview another amazing lady that you need to be able to come and connect with us because you know her. And I am going to put the link here so that you can connect with us. And anyways, I can go on and on. Do you want to say anything else? Like, what do you want people to remember you? Like something that you're going to say, like that you want them to walk away with for today?
Besides the dream big, start small.
Yeah.
Is just, what do you love? What do you love doing? And what can you do with that today? Yes. What can you do today with something that you love to do? Or who you love and you want to tell them. But something about love that makes you feel, I think that we sometimes lost connection with our heart, and love is in our heart. So what do you love to do?
That's a great question. So we want you to answer it here in the comments. And then tomorrow I have Melanie Quayles with me, and the topic is purpose puzzle and starting with the why. So you cannot miss that one tomorrow either. And it's going to be at 7:00. So come and join us tomorrow on the PowerTalk Ask the Expert. And again, Linda, thank you so much for showing up and saying yes and being on the show. And I want to thank all the beautiful people that are listening. A big kiss and a big hug. And you need to know that you matter, and that any action that you take, it has a ripple effect, and it's going to touch somebody else's life in ways that you cannot imagine. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow.